Listen up, brother, because what I'm about to tell you will shatter everything you think you know about attraction. When she starts pulling back, your instinct screams at you to chase harder, to text more, to explain yourself, to prove your worth. That instinct is your enemy. It's the voice that keeps you trapped in her emotional maze while she holds all the cards. Here's the truth most men never learn. When she pulls back, she's not testing your persistence. She's testing your power. She's not waiting for you to chase harder. She's waiting to see if you'll chase at all. And the moment you do, you've already lost the game you didn't even know you were playing. The man who understands female psychology knows this. When she creates distance, you don't close the gap, you widen it. When she steps back, you don't step forward. You step into your own life so completely that her backward step becomes irrelevant. That's not games, brother. That's mastery. See, women don't pull back because they've lost interest. They pull back because they've gained too much comfort. Comfort is the enemy of desire. When you become predictable, when your attention becomes guaranteed, when your presence becomes a given, you stop being magnetic. You become furniture, reliable, useful, but completely forgettable. But here's where it gets interesting. The moment she senses you pulling back, something primal awakens in her. Something she can't control, can't rationalize, can't ignore. It's called scarcity psychology, and it's hardwired into human nature. What becomes rare becomes valuable. What becomes difficult to access becomes desirable. What requires effort becomes worth having. The first move when she pulls back is the hardest one. Do nothing. I mean absolutely nothing. Don't text her asking what's wrong. Don't call to clear the air. Don't show up trying to fix whatever you think is broken. Your silence becomes the loudest message you can send. It says you're not desperate. It says you're not needy. It says you have other things in your life that matter more than her temporary emotional distance. This silence isn't punishment. It's protection. You're protecting your energy from being drained by someone who's not investing theirs. You're protecting your peace from being disturbed by someone who chose chaos. You're protecting your worth from being questioned by someone who stopped seeing it clearly. But here's what happens in that silence. She starts filling it with her thoughts about you. She starts wondering why you're not reacting the way other men do. She starts questioning whether she misjudged your interest. And that questioning becomes curiosity. That curiosity becomes intrigue. That intrigue becomes the very attraction she thought was fading. The second move is redirect your energy completely. When she pulls back, you don't wait around hoping she'll come forward again. You go forward without her. You hit the gym harder. You focus on your goals deeper. You connect with your friends stronger. You build your life bigger. You become the man who's too busy creating his future to worry about her mixed signals. This isn't about making her jealous. This is about remembering who you were before she became your focus. This is about reconnecting with the version of yourself that attracted her in the first place. The version that had purpose, passion, and presence that didn't revolve around her approval. Women are attracted to momentum. They're drawn to men who are going somewhere, doing something, becoming someone. When you pause your life because she paused her interest, you become static. Static doesn't attract. Static repels. But momentum, movement, progress, growth that creates gravitational pull. The third move is the most powerful one. Become genuinely indifferent to the outcome. Not fake indifference where you're secretly hoping she notices. Not strategic indifference where you're counting the days until she responds. Genuine indifference where her pulling back becomes irrelevant to your emotional state. This indifference isn't coldness, it's clarity. You see her behavior for what it is, a reflection of her internal state, not a judgment of your worth. You understand that people pull back when they're confused, overwhelmed, scared, or simply going through their own internal struggles, none of which have anything to do with you. When you reach genuine indifference, something magical happens. The energy you were pouring into worrying about her distance gets redirected into building your presence. The mental space you were using to analyze her behavior gets filled with plans for your advancement. The emotional investment you were making in her uncertainty gets transferred to certainty about yourself. And she feels this shift. Women are incredibly intuitive about energy. They can sense when a man's attention is fully on them and when it's not. They can feel when a man needs their validation and when he doesn't. They can detect when a man is operating from scarcity and when he's operating from abundance. The moment your energy shifts from scarcity to abundance, from need to want, from desperation to choice, the dynamic changes completely. You're no longer the man who's affected by her moods. You're the man who's creating his own weather. You're no longer the man orbiting her emotions. You're the man with your own gravitational field. Here's what she experiences during your transformation. First, confusion. She expected you to chase, to ask questions, to try to fix whatever she thinks is wrong. When you don't, it throws off her entire script. She doesn't know how to handle a man who doesn't play the usual games. Then comes curiosity. She starts wondering what you're doing, who you're with, how you're spending your time. The space she created to think becomes filled with thoughts about you. The distance she created to breathe becomes suffocating because you're not trying to close it. Next comes respect. She realizes you're not like other men who crumble at the first sign of her pulling back. You're not scrambling to hold on to something that's slipping away. You're solid, grounded, unshakable. That stability becomes attractive because it's rare. Finally comes desire. The very thing she thought was fading starts intensifying. But now it's not just attraction to who you are, it's attraction to who you've become in her absence. The man who doesn't need her validation, the man who doesn't chase her approval, the man who's building something bigger than her attention. But here's the crucial part, brother. When she starts coming back, and she will, you don't immediately open the door wide. You've learned something valuable about yourself during her absence. You've remembered what it feels like to be centered in your own life. You've experienced the peace that comes from not being emotionally dependent on someone else's behavior. When she reaches out, you respond, but not immediately. When she wants to meet, you're available, but not always. When she starts investing again, you receive it, but you don't become grateful for what should have been consistent. You've raised your standards because you've raised yourself. This isn't about playing hard to get. This is about being hard to get because you've become valuable. You've used her pulling back as fuel for your moving forward. You've transformed her distance into your development. You've converted her uncertainty into your unshakable certainty about your own worth. The man who handles a woman pulling back correctly doesn't just get her attention back. He gets her respect back. He gets her investment back. He gets her effort back. But more importantly, he gets himself back. He rediscovers the power that made him attractive in the first place. Remember this, when she pulls back, she's not rejecting you. She's revealing herself. She's showing you that she's not ready for the level of man you are. She's demonstrating that she needs to experience your absence to appreciate your presence. She's proving that she has to lose access to understand value. Your job isn't to convince her of your worth when she pulls back. Your job is to become so valuable that her pulling back becomes her loss, not yours. Your job is to build a life so compelling that her distance becomes insignificant. Your job is to develop such strong self-respect that her disrespect can't touch you. The moves that pull her closer when she pulls back aren't moves at all. They're the natural result of a man who knows his worth, protects his energy, and refuses to shrink himself for someone else's comfort. They're the byproduct of understanding that the right person will move toward you, not away from you when things get real. So when she pulls back, don't pull harder. Push yourself forward. Don't chase her attention. Command it through your absence, but don't explain your value. Demonstrate it through your actions. And watch as the distance she created becomes the very thing that draws her back to you. Not as the man she left, but as the man you've become in her absence. That transformation, brother, that's what real attraction looks like. That's what genuine desire feels like. And that's what happens when you stop reacting to her energy and start radiating your own.